like I think I want to validate everyone's feelings and fears, period. You know,
Yeah.
whatever you're afraid of, whatever emotions you're going through. It definitely hit like we got hit by the solar plexus. I used to play soccer. And I don't know if you ever played soccer, but sometimes the ball comes right for your solar plexus, and even though you tighten up your muscles and you're ready for it, it still knocks the wind out of you, and you're
All the
literally
wins.
and they have to tell you, you gotta breathe, and you're like,
Mm.
"Ugh, I can't breathe, I can't
Right.
breathe,
You're like, I'm out of breath. How am I supposed to breathe? I have no breath.
I'm out of the breath. It literally knocked the breath out of me. And so
Right.
I think that a lot of us collectively may felt that way. I think we're bracing for the outcome that did happen, but I still think that like the win, the sales, a lot of things were knocked off. And it just continues to remind me over and over again. You said a lot about the group project, and oftentimes in the group project, someone has assigned us who our mates are going to be. And I've realized, the most successful projects like your company, my company, are the people we decide are going to be on our group. And I
When you
think,
pick the members of the team now. Yeah.
okay. And I think that we have to be at a time and place where we pick the members of our team
Oh,
and we decide how things are going to go. And you might say, well, how does that help us in the larger structure of what is going on in
right.
a structure and in an environment that has never really been set up for our success? And I think that this is the thing that we have to grapple with. Something that I talked about with my parents too. They went to Yale University. All of their children have bachelor's and master's degrees from some of the top universities in the United States. And
Right.
yet and still we have to constantly be two times better. We have to
Right.
constantly be out here grinding and working and XYZ, working hard, um, and still going through a lot of stressors, emotional trauma, dealing with all these microaggressions in the workplace. I mean, there's
Hmm.
all kinds of things that we have to go through. So we did XYZ. And even when we do XYZ, we're still not allowed to go past this glass ceiling. So I've
Right.
decided, and so we have not talked in a while.
We haven't. This is it. This is
So this
it.
is the conversation, but I had already been looking into it, but now I've gone in further and I've traced my lineage back to my indigenous roots. Yeah, okay, and the idea is to really use our indigenous status to create our own governance and our own way of being. So I'm like, listen, I've been talking about let's diverse ourselves from the structures that shackle us. And I'm
Hmm.
saying here are some legal ways that we can start doing and thinking through those things. The other
Right.
piece is I have this housing for all campaign .org. You guys can go to the website. The last one that I just did was about how do you protect your assets. And one of those things is creating a family bank. And some people might be listening. Oh, well, I don't have $1 million, so I'm gonna create a family bank. You don't need $1 million to start a
Mm-mm.
Baby, all you need is just one little paycheck, and we can figure out the structure. Because the idea is
Right.
you put the structure together, and then the family comes together and builds the wealth. So, for example, why would you create a family bank? Well, a lot of us want to own homes. That
Right.
that's one thing to home ownership. Where do we go to own a home? Most of us don't have cash. We have to get a mortgage. Where do we
Right.
go to get a mortgage? We go to a company whose entire structure and being is against Black folk. It's just the way that it
Mm.
goes.
Right. The
So
financial institutions. Yep.
financial institutions, I won't name names, but you know exactly which financial institutions I'm talking about.
And some of
So,
them have been getting slapped time and time again for clear discrimination practices against minorities. Wells Fargo.
right.
Anyway.
Okay. And on top of that, they get bailouts from the government. So everybody worried about welfare, but these banks are getting multi-millions, billions of dollars in corporate welfare dollars. And
Thank
if I
you.
child don't even get me started because we can go a whole nother way. But let's think about this for a second. When you pay your mortgage with your interest rate and all that, you
Mhm.
are spending your money to enrich somebody else's family. Those
Yeah.
banks are owned by families. Okay. They're
Yep.
named after families. They're owned by families.
Right.
So instead of doing that, you could create a family bank and the family gives you the mortgage, comes together, and you spend your money back into your family. And so instead
Mm.
of putting your money in enriching other families, you are enriching your family.
Right.
Maybe some of our families are a little trifling, so that's why maybe it's not family by blood. Maybe it's family by friend. Maybe it's family
Right.
by your sister, your brother that you know from another mother. Right?
maybe
maybe
it's your founder family, founders coming together, maybe whoever, folks
whoever.
that are like-minded. That's who needs to be a part of the team on this group project, or the people that you know are like-minded. So I'm feeling what you're putting down. I'm digging what you're putting
Okay,
down.
okay, okay. Well, that's not one of the ways that we divest ourselves from the
Yeah.
infrastructure that shackles.
Hmm.
Yes, honey.
I love it. I love it.